Welcome back to the Weekly Beat with me, Matoma. And today I got some really cool guests. They're international and they've flown in. I have from Australia, Sam Fischer, who has had massive success with his songs. During COVID, he had This City that streamed over 700 million streams right now. And he's worked with people like Demi Lovato. He's been on tour with Louis Capaldi. And today he's in the car with me. And my other guest is no other than UK-based artist Loek, whose also name is Loek. He's blown up on TikTok with 1.8 million people. And it's gonna really be interesting to just hear their stories and create magic from that. Let's go.
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
What's up?
What's good, man?
Yeah!
Hey, how are you?
Let's
Good
go!
to see you.
Oh my
Boys!
God, it's cold, bro. How do you do this?
So cold. This is normal.
This is normal for you?
Yeah, this
You're
is
chilling
not-
right now?
Yeah, this is nothing. I don't even have a jacket.
You're a stronger man than me.
Yeah, but I do like to have wool though. Like, you know,
Oh
wool.
yeah?
Yeah.
It keeps nice and warm?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm wearing.
Oh, you're stylish. Oh
Thank
my
you,
God,
man.
Like,
I'll take that. There you go. Come on.
damn.
Where are we heading?
We are heading to my studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I can't wait too.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, we have a banger.
We
Big,
do
big
have a
tune.
banger,
Yeah,
man.
we do.
It's good.
I love it.
We have to get into the whole story of that, but first I would love to just get to know you guys. We have a little catch of a ride. Putting
Sweet.
on my seatbelt, safety first.
Safety
Nice.
first, peeps.
Do you have a seatbelt on?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to Oslo before?
No.
First time.
First time?
I love it here. It's so nice.
We're coming back.
Yeah,
We're coming back. Yeah.
bro. We're about to have a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, let's go. Okay, I need to close my door. Let's go. So you guys are absolutely rock stars.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, bro.
Thank you.
So are you.
So yeah. So you.
you know who you are?
No. I know Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know Joe?
Yeah.
Your manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and me, we go way back.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have
Since
stories.
all night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I worked with the Vamps a lot back in the days. In 2015, 16, 17, we did a lot of shows together in the US. We went on Good Morning America.
Oh,
Oh wow.
crazy. Was that
Yeah.
super early?
Yeah, it was like 2016, I think.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was super nervous because I had never been on anything like it, and then suddenly we were doing like all these like radio shows in the Midwest where you have the stadiums and it's like they sending live radio from the stadium.
Yeah.
And we performed and it was so good, and all of the guys became close friends of mine, and especially Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I heard that,
Good old Connor.
yeah, and when I heard that he had been working with you guys, like I was just curious, and I hit up my manager and was like, yeah, I heard that Connor worked with these two really talented people, and is it possible to just like, in some way, like get together, work together, because their energy and their vibe in that camp is just so beautiful. And Joe has been a close friend for many years for me, and every time I meet him, he's so down to earth, and it's all about the music, all about like the people, like the connection, and I just love that with the fact that you can work with this for so many years but still have that hunger for good music, quality music. And when I heard your vocal, I was just like, holy fucking shit. I'm just blown away. So today we are making magic.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And I really want to work on the vocal that you sent me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. Can you just talk a little about how that whole idea came together? You guys in the room and.
Mate, you know what? We were writing something completely different, like most of the day.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it just wasn't really feeling that good. And so we got coffee, and we came back.
A coffee always.
Just a little like
Nice reset.
a breather, a reset.
Yeah.
And we like Hail Mary this song.
Yeah.
Because I came back into the room and I was like, we are all too good at what we do to not get something great.
And you got something great.
We got something great.
Yeah.
And it came quick. It's a really, I feel like the best songs are the simplest concepts.
Yeah, they are.
And love is the universal language.
And you know I'm getting married this year.
Come on, bro.
So I was thinking, like, since this is a song about love and the universe, and I've been together with my fiance for 10 years.
Okay.
Maybe this song could become like the love anthem of the wedding.
Done.
No way.
Done.
Let's
If it has to
go.
be.
Yeah,
It
let's
has to
go.
be. Come on.
And then you have to come and DJ.
Oh yeah, of course. I love it.
Yeah. And maybe we should have a guest surprise with you.
Oh, fine. Okay, fine. I'll be there. Where are you getting married?
Are you happy wearing smoking?
Yeah.
Tuxedo? Like,
Wherever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wear wherever you want.
we're actually getting married down at this beautiful resort, but I can't really talk about it too much because it's kind of secret. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because the media will pick it up.
Delete.
No. We can have this in, but I just can't say where. But it's at a beautiful location.
Sweet.
Here in Norway.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, I'm quite stoked.
So good. So are you from Oslo?
No. I'm from a very small place, like all the way in the forest of close to the Swedish border.
Sweet.
Yeah. Grew up in a very small town, 1,800 people.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's quite sad now because they're shutting down the high school and they're doing all of this like bureaucracy things that is not really helping the local community to stay active and to grow. And
Where are the kids supposed to go?
yeah, it's like we just opened up a new brand elementary school and building like this cultural concept where I'm a part of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I'm actually building five studios on the second floor to give back to the local community.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
yeah,
So nice.
Good for you, man.
yeah, thank you.
That's so good.
You know, me growing up in a small community, then being a bedroom producer, it's and then suddenly touring the world.
Yeah.
It's quite. That was a quite dramatic.
Surreal
Yeah,
as
and,
well.
and you guys can relate to that, like with your instant like boom on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like when we get to the studio, I want to hear all about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible on TikTok. Like I
Right.
suck balls. And
You and me both.
no, but you know, like somebody have that. You know, you have that smile, you have that charm, the young looks.
Go on. Keep talking.
But for me, like I've been in the game for 10 years,
Yeah.
and when I started, Instagram and TikTok and all
Yeah.
of these things, they didn't exist.
Yeah.
I remember Instagram has just launched, and I had the beta version of Instagram.
So did I, bro.
Yeah.
So did
The
I.
beta
Oh my
version of
goodness, I
Instagram.
remember when it first launched.
I don't think
as
I
well.
remember that.
No,
Man, you weren't born.
you were still just like. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh.
Yeah, so am I.
And so talented.
Thank you.
Wow. I wish I had your talent when I was 21.
Seriously.
Thank you.
I was garbage at 21.
Wow.
I could sing.
21?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And you're making bangers and hits?
Thank you.
Damn.
Means a
Come
lot.
on,
Thank
bro.
you.
Crushing. This episode is quite unique because usually we make the song during the episode. So like I from the talk we create a topic and then we make the song,
Yeah.
we write it and then release it the next day. But
Yeah.
here the song is already written, so now it's just like sprinkling like the production elements, maybe bringing
Yeah.
it into like a Matoma world.
100%.
I have the vocals on the computer, but I think actually we're gonna record you over again in the studio today to fit the production.
Hell yeah.
But I feel like we're gonna create some magic.
I'm gonna smash it. I love this
Yeah.
song.
I'm super curious to hear about like both your stories. Like we have two amazing talent in the studio today, and you guys work maybe differently in the studio.
Yeah.
You're a producer.
Yeah.
But you also write.
Yeah, I actually started writing and then got into producing after. So I always like to get involved in the writing.
Yeah. And you
but
like
yeah.
that?
I love it. Yeah. I'm not amazing at lyrics, but melodies, I always get involved. That's like
You
melodies.
have a good ear for it, for sure.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you.
When you walked into the car,
Yeah.
I felt I was like, in some way, looking at like a more sophisticated, younger me.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because you remind me a lot about myself, but also you have a more wisdom over you. And I can hear that in your songs,
Thank you.
in your demos, in your productions, in your songs on Spotify. It's you have a really unique sense of sonic building. So your ear takes you. Maybe you can talk a little about that. How your process is when you choose sounds and.
Yeah. Well, like country music's always been a big influence on my music. Avicii, yeah, he's like my biggest inspiration. So, I mean, when I started producing, I took in influence from Avicii, tried to find like unique sounds, different sounds that weren't the usual house sounds. But I think now I just go into the studio, open-minded, open my laptop, whatever comes to mind comes to mind.
Yeah.
And I think it always sounds in the same lane, even if I'm not trying to like do something specific. I always come out with something similar. So I think it's just the way my brain works. I'm like, tend to go to the same chord progressions, use the same sounds, the same drums. So it all kind of fits in together.
Yeah. Wow.
Concise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like I make something terrible and I'm like, what is this? A lot of the time.
Hey, you gotta throw enough
Have
spaghetti
you
at the
ever
fridge, right?
like been sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. I was talking crap.
But have you ever been interrupted in a way during a session where you like your ego lets you overthink, or do you just let it be like a consistent process of flow, like a flow?
Yeah, I think in the session, I just focused on the song. Like even with Made For You, I was like, let's just get a good song. And then I took it home, produced it, and I was like, yeah. I tend to like write the song, then take it home, spend like another day or two getting the production right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing to sit here today. Like, it's a new day.
Yeah.
And here I am with an amazing producer and an amazing vocalist and artist. Like, and we're gonna create magic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what we get today.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And you in the vocal booth. Do you when you record? Do you have like a preferred setting that you like to?
When it comes to what I'm hearing.
Yeah, like when you're recording your voice, do you like to have like a preference of like a setting or?
I like a little bit of reverb, and like I will say I do love to sing into autotune.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need it.
Yeah, you don't
But
need
I
it.
just like, I don't want to work so hard.
Yeah.
I'm older. You were like, I see a younger version of me, and then you looked at me and you said, an elder. But no, I just as long as it's like, I don't know, I like my voice loud in my ears.
Yeah.
I like some reverb, a little auto-tune. Yeah.
If you could go back 14 years in time and be the
14.
and be the older, wiser you, and have the opportunity to talk to you as a younger artist, what would have been your go-to tips, and what would have been like, don't do this?
Oh my goodness. I've had such a strange career, but I'd probably say to myself, have a little more fun with it. Stop overthinking. Like, it's just, none of this is that serious. Like, we're not curing cancer here. We're just making music. We're trying to make people feel good or just feel what they need to feel.
Yeah.
And I think I was so bogged down in the race of it all, and getting to success, and fearing getting older as well. Like, I was obsessed with like succeeding young, and I was so hard on myself when things wouldn't work out as well as I wanted them to.
Do you have any examples or?
I mean, my first record deal was a mess.
Yeah.
And I blame myself, even though I was just surrounded by kind of terrible people. And I mean, like right out of college, I moved to LA because a label called me and said, it was like classic. I was drunk in Boston. I got a phone call at 2 a.m. It was the EVP of a label. I won't say who, but she was like, where are you? And I'm drunk on the phone. I said, I'm in Boston. She goes, what are you doing there? We need you in LA. We got a record to make. And so I said to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, so we're good. But I was like, I have to go to LA. So like 3 weeks later, packed up, moved to LA. Day after I got there, I go into the office and they tell me that they're not gonna sign me. And then but they would help me out. To this day, I haven't heard from them. And then I slept in cars and on like couches for like 6 months and hustled that way. But I was the whole time blaming myself. Like, why didn't they want me? And it's constantly been an attack on myself instead of just believing that things would work out. It's a strange thing. Like everyone around me, I will say, I'm surrounded by some wonderful people now, but everyone around me, my wife's family, before I had any success, blindly believed in me, and I never understood it. But I think if I could go back in time and talk to myself, I would say chill out, have fun, and just make sure to trust the right people, which is hard, but yeah. So just surround yourself with better people, honestly. But yeah.
It's sad that it happens to so
All
good
the time.
people like you.
It's such a common story. It doesn't make it hurt any less, but...
And it doesn't make, like, it's your personal story. Nobody can take that away from you. Like, what you feel is what you feel. And yeah, that just sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does suck. And I don't want to get to, 85 years old and look back and think, damn, like, what if this had happened differently? Like, would this have turned out a different way and whatever? And there's been so much that's happened over the last 5-6 years that I fear that I will look back and be sad about.
Yeah.
Like, I had my first hit during the pandemic and I wasn't able to tour and enjoy it. And my, like, whole kind of, like, perception of me is really warped because... like my song This City is, I feel like it's this big like A-list celebrity, but I'm not. And it's a strange like thing trying to play catch up to my own song that I created. But that said, I get to do amazing things like this, getting to work with you and creating bangers. And now I'm kind of a little more chill with it, like we have fun in the studio. Like we wrote this song so quick, and it's fun and it's uplifting and it's about love and it's just, it feels good creating now because there was a long period there where I completely fell out of love with the process. And I lived in the States for 14 years and I've moved to London 8 months ago, and I tell you what, it feels more like home than the States maybe ever did. Just straight away, purely because I'm surrounded by good people. Yeah. Honest people.
Real people.
People who aren't in music as well.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
That's the impression I've had every time I've gone to the UK, that people are very much like have similar lifestyle and culture as us Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Like we don't like. Of course, there's bullshit, but like
there's always bullshit.
Yeah,
there's the music industry.
Yeah, but it's easier to see the shovel as a shovel.
Okay, yeah, 100%,
and that I like.
Totally. And don't get me wrong, there are some amazing people in the States, but I think as an Australian, moving to the UK made me feel more at home. Yeah, just culturally, like pub culture. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's just so different.
And you have similar culture.
Yeah. It's just even the way we like joke about things.
Oh yeah, it's so much similar.
Yeah, I think there's a different mentality of like so much about the UK and Europe and Australia is working to live, and the US I feel is more living to work.
Yeah.
I felt that when I was in LA.
Yeah.
I also got in the beginning pressure to move there and it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Especially when you come from a different culture and it's a different lifestyle. And but it really, like your story is like the fact that you're sitting here, you're a living proof of living for a dream. And you didn't quit or you didn't give up on yourself?
No, I can't do anything else. I'm not good at anything else. No, I love it. I do love it. Hey, listen, I wanted to be a tennis player when I was younger. I just wasn't good enough. But, you know.
It's good that you have that perspective, though, that you can at least say that to the joke. I'm the same.
Totally.
Like, I had talent in swimming. I could probably have been a really good swimmer, but music has always been the driving force of my identity and who I am.
Completely.
So it's never been a question.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Hardcore. It is funny, like, coming from Australia and moving to the States and chasing a dream, because there was a lot of opposition when I left, when I decided to leave. And I was 18 when I left Australia. And it took me 10 years to have success in the way that I think people who aren't in music deem success for musicians, which is having a song on the radio and having, you know, like silly things, like having like celebrities reach out and post your stuff, and like people who aren't in music see that and they go, oh, they're succeeding.
Yeah.
Like they see the tip of the iceberg, but they don't see the mountain beneath it. Like,
and also all the hard work.
All the hard work,
all the
man.
people behind it.
You know, it took me 15 years to become an overnight success. So, yeah. But hey, we're here now, brother. Come on. And you're young and killing it already.
So. Just listen and learn from a wise man, because this is wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I'm only 22, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm quite inspired.
To go.
you know, this talk was so good because now I just like I'm hearing the song.
Yeah, I think it's just finding joy in it, in the process.
You have a strong heart and a strong soul.
Thanks for that.
And your wife has an even stronger. I can just tell.
She does. She's the best. Yeah. She's the best part of me.
I could just tell she has helped you through tremendous decisions and situations where you doubted yourself.
She's nuts to have stayed with me as long as she has, but we're on the other side of all that craziness.
True love.
Yeah.
The grass isn't greener on the other side.
No.
And so work through your problems, but communicate, and that's what you're doing, and it's amazing.
No, she's my rock for sure. She's followed me, and it's.
But you said you were living in Boston.
I went to college in Boston. That's where we met. We met singing.
I'm guessing since music, Berkeley. No way. You know, they've invited me to do like these technical courses. On sound design and. But throughout my career, it's never been a good timing. So every time they've invited me, I've always been on tour. But that school is so good.
Yeah, it's cool. It was a really interesting experience. I think the best thing I got out of it was meeting the people I met there. You know, some of the kids that go there are just so brilliant. Did
you take a lot of the education from the school with you in the professional career? Or?
I guess, like, technically I have a degree in songwriting, so I guess I'm using my degree. But
nice.
And it's so silly. It's
so you can walk into the studio and say, like, here's my papers
and get immediately kicked out. No, you know, you don't need a degree to write songs, and that's the thing. Like, I think, you know, they teach. I think they teach the science of songwriting, which is very different to like writing in the real world.
Yeah,
like Billie Eilish writes unbelievable songs, and she has since she was 12 years old. You know, so like it was good because when I went there, I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to do, and it helped me sort that out. And there's an amazing, prolific songwriter, Cara Diaguardi, who's written hits on hits, and she once said to me. I presented her a song and she was like, I bet you get away with writing shit songs because you can sing them really well. And that piece of advice changed my whole perspective. And so I owe a lot of like my ability to that advice. And
you know some Swedes, they I've learned this over the years because like with my education, we traveled a lot and saw these studios and saw these producers, and a lot of these Swedes I met, they always said like, oh, you make good music out of Norway, but you're so sonically focused. And that started, like, it got me thinking, like, what do you mean by sonically?
Yeah, what does that mean?
No, like we put so much care into the sonics of the song, so we sometimes forget the lyrics. We sometimes, you know, like,
Interesting.
and I thought about it, and it's like some of my songs that are the biggest, they are the simplest, and some of my most that I like the most are the most undiscovered songs I made.
Yeah.
So it's like, I also think that when you professionally learn a craft, and you teach it and you get learned, you then become like almost like this critic to the product.
Yeah.
So when I feel after my degree in college, when I'm listening to music, I'm analyzing it. Every single time I put on a song, it's like I can't enjoy it in the way I used to listen to music when I was a kid, where it was just like put on a song, like, oh, stream it, oh, it's a nice. Now it's like, oh, what's that sound? Oh, what's that? Like, how did they do that? EQ. Oh, how did they compress that?
Analyzing.
Yeah, like, how did they do that vocal? So everything is like very analyzing, and so so my head has just become broken.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Totally.
How do you feel?
I think even as a producer, like when I'm listening to productions from DJs, I'm like, okay, how did he make those drums? Like, how did he produce the vocal? So sometimes I listen to music that isn't dance music, just to like have fresh air, I guess.
What type of music do you listen to?
I have like an 80s playlist.
Oh.
Really weird. On the morning, I make scrambled eggs, stick on some 80s music. And
Ooh,
I'm like,
scrambled eggs, some 80s music.
It's like, it's how I start most days. And then I get into the studio, whack on the beats, and then I go back into dance music.
So your beat process, how do you loop it? Start with like a loop, and then just go through songs as sounds, and just stack like the things you like. And
I mean, I tend to always start with drums, but like I usually find a reference track. So I think I normally find a reference track from Spotify, and then I make drums like as close to that song as possible, and then I'll like make them my own kind of thing. Then add a bass, add the vocal, and just walk around that.
Same process as I did back in the days.
Really?
When I was on SoundCloud, I always had like a reference track. And I always tried to make the drums my own. Like find my own samples, make my own samples. I had this Zoom recorder, so every day I was walking around the city just like recording sounds, using it in drum loops, and I always started with drums. Like, especially like with the new disco, like the hip hop, like the old thing back, Miami, Will Smith, all those songs. Always started with like a beat to get like the groove of it. But you said earlier that you dropped out of was it high school or?
So I left school when I was 16, 17, and I was in a band for a couple of years, and then I kind of realized I wanted to do dance music.
So you kind of done the quite opposite of what we've done.
I guess because I've always been like a musician, I guess. From when I was maybe like 10, I've always played piano, guitar. And then, I think that's why I was in the band, I guess. I love like live music. And then I came to a point where I was like, house music is what I love more. So now I've kind of tried to like integrate them both and still keep like the live instruments in the music.
What made you start playing piano? Like, how old were you?
Okay, it's actually really interesting. I wanted to play the guitar really badly. And my mum was like, if you learn piano, you can play anything because you can read the music. It will help you across everything. So I learned the piano.
Good advice, Mum.
And then I guess I started writing songs on the piano, and then I played the guitar after. But like, piano was.
So your mom gave you some hard critic, and then since then you just love her even more. And you know, piano is such a good way of learning to this, like, you know, your brain, you have your left brain and your right brain, and since you're using your left and your right hand in different, it really gives motoric sense in your brain. And yeah, amazing to hear.
So good.
Yeah. You play piano as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Was that your first instrument?
Keyboard. But I went like my whole childhood, like I was like my brother. Me too, I want to do what he did.
Yeah.
Is he older?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. And so he tried drums, I tried drums, he tried guitar, I tried guitar. But then when we came to keyboard, I was like, oh, this I really
This is
love.
it. Yeah.
And then when I was 9, I accidentally copied my piano player when he was playing some piano music, and he noticed my
Your ear.
my ear.
Yeah.
And then he said, like, you have to stop playing keyboard and start playing piano.
Yeah.
And then So for a while, I wanted to become a classical pianist.
Wow.
Yeah. So I listened to classical music a lot.
Same.
Yeah. Edvard Grieg. Grieg is my favorite.
Grieg. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I played his A minor concert with a youth symphony orchestra here in Norway when I was 16 years old. It was truly amazing.
It's like we've lived parallel lives. I was a violin player. I wanted to be like
No
I wanted to be like a concert violinist.
But I kind of felt it when you came into the car. Like you're kind of like a
What was it about me?
a related,
hello, bro.
a related cousin, like far away, distant. You know. So you were a violinist?
Yeah, it was. I started playing when I was 3.
Oh,
And-
When you
damn.
three. Oh my
yeah, I had
days.
this.
Wow.
It was like a 64, 30 second, like it was like this big, and I still have it. And
Oh, you should keep it. You know,
forever.
You know, in Norway, we have Arve Tellefsen, who is like this famous violinist.
Okay.
And he sold his first violin for 250 million kroner. So just keep that and just let it dust.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one day it'll make me rich.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I still have the violin, and it's tiny. It looks like a toy. But yeah, I started playing that, and like I played with. It was a youth orchestra called Nova Youth Orchestra.
Oh, no
and
way.
It was the Franck Sonata. Something. I loved Franck, just romantic music in general. But yeah, I loved playing violin until I was like 14.
What period of music did you like the most, like from centuries?
I really liked playing chamber music.
Yeah.
Like Baroque music was great. I loved playing in a
Handel,
quartet.
or did you like Handel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then just romantic music.
Yeah.
Like I loved Franck.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And then my younger brother's a musician as well. And he got really into like neoclassical stuff.
Yeah.
He's a percussionist.
Oh.
And he just...
So it runs in your family, like this musical.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Like the arts definitely does. My little brother, I'm the middle of 3. And my younger brother is a musician. He plays in orchestras. Went to Germany and got a master's in some kind of neo-jazz, classical fusion, whatever. And now he does, what do they call when, they make like sound effects for TV shows? Like he's got his like hands in shoes making like walking.
Oh yeah.
Like a sound artist.
Yeah,
or whatever.
sound designer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does that, and he produces, and then my other brother's like an engineer. But my parents, they were doctors, but they, I don't know. It was just we always just had music on. But it was, my mum has always been my biggest champion when it comes to chasing the dream. And she was really the one that allowed me to pursue it in America and go off and chase. And my dad, that's a whole different story. But so I owe a lot of it to my mum. But yeah, it's...
you're not the only one with the complicated family stories.
Yeah, everyone's got it. And I'm very open with talking about it as well. But there was just a lot of pushback when it came to my dad. But, and then I started succeeding, and he was like, oh, I see you're doing really well. See, music's fucked up. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. Yeah. But hey, no, shit's good. But yeah, started on violin.
The only thing I can say, because it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that really sucks.
It sucks,
and you can try and comfort, but when you're in it, it just sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
Sucks. I appreciate you saying that because I think a lot of people try to meet sad stories or whatever with over positivity. Yeah. And sometimes what I want is someone to say, no, that sucks. Yeah. And like, sit in the shit with me for a second. Yeah. Let me feel my thing and then pull me out with you, you know? But yeah, it sucked, but I think I've been on my own since I was 18. Left Australia when I was 18. And I feel like I've grown into someone that I am trying to be proud of and like am happy for. But yeah, it's always interesting going back to Australia. I love Australia. That's always been home.
Have you ever gotten the chance to say to yourself, it was my fault?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of therapy and it's yeah, I've said to myself, it wasn't my fault. It took a long time. Yeah. I think when my parents split, there was a lot of it was put on me from my dad, and that was quite hard to get over. But like, you know, I'm 33 now, and I have a beautiful life, and I work really hard, and I'm proud of what I've achieved. But yeah, there's always just some stuff. Family is such a strange thing, and life is sometimes just such a bitch to navigate. But it's cool. Like I said, I'm surrounded by good people now, and I get to do what I love, and that's lucky. Not everyone gets to do that.
What I'm seeing is independent, strong man with a heart that's big as the universe.
Thanks, man. But it's really nice.
You should also include you in that universe.
Damn.
Yeah.
You got me with that one. Yeah. I'm working on it. We're all works in progress. Yeah. My boy.
You, man. I appreciate you too, and I appreciate the honesty in your words. That takes a lot.
Thanks, mate. Of course. Someone's got to say it, right?
Yeah.
It's not a unique story.
No, but it's. I think in times like now, it's so important for young men to hear these stories from older men.
Yeah.
That maybe are their role models, or maybe they look up to them. Maybe they see you on social media, and to actually know that you are a good human being that have encountered shitty situations that you couldn't control, or that was out of your control. You're just born in it, and then you make the best out of it, the best possible way you can to survive. I think young kids, they really aspire that, and they look up to it, and the realness in society today, with these kids growing up with the social media, they are very aware of what's fake and what's real.
They are. They absolutely are. Yeah, authenticity is so easy to spot nowadays. And
that was just my hair.
It was a big hug. Hey, listen, it was tasting good, so I didn't move it.
My shampoo.
But yeah, no, it's so interesting. Like, you know, when you post stuff on TikTok and Instagram and whatever, what people can recognize as authenticity is so.
But back to that, we have a TikTok.
I know. Come on.
Yeah.
The youth is right here.
How, like with your TikTok channel, because I went on it a couple months back, and I've been watching you posting. Yeah. You are amazing.
Thank you.
And it's so.
Listen to that. He was complaining about it yesterday.
You have.
Yeah.
Why?
You're so good at it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So you're your biggest critic.
Yeah. Like sometimes when I film videos, I'm like, "Is this good? Is it not good?" Yeah. I guess everyone's their biggest critic. But yeah, TikTok.
Yeah.
It's
I like when I saw your page, I just felt like this kid. He is shining.
Thank you.
And he's doing it with slickness, with truthness, passion, and also with, you know, you have so much talent.
Thank you. Means a lot.
So we need to. I mean, whenever you say you're making a shitty video, you call me and I can just, hey brother, you're not making a shitty video. I'm making a fucking shitty video. My video is fucking crap.
Yeah.
Like you should have seen the other day. It fucking sucked. You're crushing.
That's exactly how I am.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it comes naturally to you? I mean, grown up with it?
I think, at the start, it doesn't feel, I think for anyone, it doesn't feel natural to film yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you've put the camera in front of you, the first time you do it, it's a bit, I don't know, it doesn't feel too natural. And especially as a DJ, when you're not singing, like you're just kind of in the video vibing. Sometimes it can feel a little bit awkward. But I think over time, I've like kind of got used to filming myself, tried to find unique ways to promote music, because as a DJ, what are you doing in the video? You're not singing, you're not really playing an instrument. So I guess I wanted to make something that was like aesthetically pleasing, and find something unique.
Which you truly did.
Thank you.
And hearing that just got me super inspired. Wow.
Yeah, I think even stuff like good views, like this view in Oslo, if you just like have a camera, I would love a view like this. You could just film it and it's like aesthetically pleasing, because I think that's what draws people into the video when you're not singing, when you're not doing anything. It's just like the initial, what they see when they open the video. So I always try to make it like something unique, something people will want to keep on watching.
Did that come to you naturally? Just like the understanding of that, or?
I think because I've kind of seen what other DJs are posting, what works well, what doesn't work well. So sometimes I have like a playlist of like the top 5 DJ videos that have blew up this week.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through those videos and be like, okay, this one's cool. I'm going to recreate this, but like make it slightly different. And I think doing that is a good way to find out what's working.
Yeah.
And then you can make it your own and put your own spin on it.
How many years have you been doing content?
Since lockdown, I think. Yeah. So
that, lockdown was hard for all of us, and I was going through. I had just been on tour, and my agent had confirmed Coachella. Second time playing Coachella, and that was pretty big for me as a Norwegian, and then whole COVID just shut everything down, and the show got cancelled. I buried myself down in grief, and maybe I should rather have looked at it in other ways. And it's really inspiring to hear that you managed to take a forum, like a platform like TikTok, during a pandemic and create it into a tool that helps you promote your music.
Yeah, I mean, I think during the pandemic was my last year in school.
Yeah.
So I should have been finishing in the year of the pandemic. And I had schoolwork to do. And to be honest, I didn't do any of the school Zooms. I didn't do any of the work. I was just on my laptop producing, because I kind of knew we weren't going to have the exams because COVID was pretty bad. Yeah. So I was just like on my laptop producing every day, filming TikToks.
Even at school, or?
No, because it was in the lockdown.
So you had, of course, like you had the classroom at your home, so you could just have the screen open and then you were producing on the side.
Just mute myself and then
Clever.
It was good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just fascinating that you have the courage to just go on your own path. Like it's so inspiring to listen to.
I think as well, like having, obviously, you know, Joe as well, like having, I couldn't ask for a better management, and like having that reassurance that they believe in me as well, and having that, I don't know, it kind of puts confidence in you when you're surrounded by good people and like a good team. So I think that's part of the reason why I've always been more focused on music than schoolwork, even when I was at school.
Yeah. And it's paying off.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Because they are the hope of the future.
You're 21. Look where you are right now.
Yeah.
True.
and by the way, like, so you kind of have like a similar story, just almost like a parallel story, because you you broke through TikTok during COVID, the pandemic, and you had your massive success with your song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't have TikTok when it started going viral on TikTok. I didn't know what TikTok was.
Me neither.
Yeah. Like it was like, oh my God, March or April of 2019 when I found out that it was going viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting a message on Instagram and it was like, hey, I don't know if this is you or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure this is your song. It's like the biggest song on this app, TikTok. And I was like, what the hell is TikTok? Because this city had been out for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I had quit being an artist. Like, it was always a dream, but like I'd been through a horrible record deal, abuse, and all that shit. And I was like, fuck that. Let me just write for others.
So you kind of have given up the artistry?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Because I went through some absolute BS and I was really unhappy. I didn't want it. And so
I'm tired.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I put out an EP. No one gave a shit. Like, a couple songs got on some viral charts, but like, no one really gave a shit. And I was like, well, I lost myself in that process. And so I was like, let me find myself by writing for others and just being fine with that. I am an ego monster. So of course I wanted to be an artist, you know? And then when this city started doing numbers, I had no idea what was going on. My manager had no idea. Yeah. And then we got this message and I downloaded TikTok. And it was this like chopped and screwed version of this city. It was like this like, the city's gonna break my heart. And I was like, hundreds of thousands of videos made to it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was so crazy. And then,
wow.
And then we like, that happened. Streams started going nuts. We had no playlisting, but it was doing like 100,000 streams a day. And then my boy Lewis Capaldi messaged me on Instagram and he said, I remember I was in the gym and I got this message from Lewis and it said, hey Shagger, you want to come around the US with me? And I was like, Lewis, what the fuck? I said, here I am sweating on the treadmill. What? And I had no money, dead broke, could not afford a tour. Wow. But I said yes. Yeah. I said, yes, brother, I'm in. And I remember my wife was in a workout class and I ran over to the window and I was like, get out of the fucking class. She comes like, what the fuck? She was like, we're going on tour with Lewis Capaldi. She's like, what? How? Anyway, so my publisher ended up giving me money to go on that tour.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, when is the tour, Lewis? And he said it starts June 1st, 2019. And that was the day of my wedding. So I was like, okay, well, is it cool if I join a day later because I'm getting married? And he was like, fine. So, like me and Aaron got married and the next morning flew out to DC to start the Lewis Capaldi US run. And then that changed everything. And TikTok was happening. I had no idea how to use it, but it was happening. It was happening to me. And it has been batshit crazy ever since. And then it was just nuts. I remember after the morning after the LA show of the Lewis Capaldi tour was the first time we got a playlist for this city, and it was Pop Rising on Spotify.
Wow.
And then that was nuts. And then the next day, a label called and I was being flown to New York, and then it was months of everyone in the world reaching out. And then I went to London and I met with RCA there and I liked them, and so I signed there. And it was, I was having a big hit and everyone in the world was calling and we got every opportunity I'd ever wanted. And, Niall Horan asked me to come out and tour in the US, and we got every TV show, and then pandemic.
Yeah.
And everything got canceled. And I was the first artist to play on like a late night show in the pandemic. Yeah. So I played Jimmy Kimmel, and it was like, it was called
like from the studio?
No, from like my apartment.
Yeah. I remember that.
Like they sent me like a green screen and I filmed it, and it was so weird. I filmed it on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And I texted it to my manager, and then he sent it to the producers, and they were like, okay. And then I was like, it was called Live from the Lavatory, and like they like flew me around different cities while I'm singing. It was a whole thing. And then the Nile tour got cancelled, and that was heartbreaking because all I wanted to do was play live. And but the song was going crazy, and I was experiencing these crazy highs from my living room. And I grieved a lot, and I didn't realize it was grief because I'd never felt grief before. And I didn't know how to handle these emotions. And I definitely turned into like the worst version of myself. But through therapy, through good friends, through my wife, I've come out the other side of that, and like I can look back on it and find some joy in it. And I'm not with RCA anymore. I'm independent now, and it's no bad blood. I had a lot of good times with them. But I feel encouraged now. But yeah, TikTok was kind of the catalyst for the whole thing. And I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing on there, but I think I've stopped. I used to post and delete and post and delete and post and delete because I don't know, like in the early days of TikTok, you could post anything and it would get like 100,000 views like that. And now, you know, I think when this city was going viral, there were like 100 million people using TikTok. And now there's over 1 billion people.
Yeah.
And it's just... It's a weird world.
It's very fascinating, everything you're saying, because, like, of course, you can say this sucked, but in ways you can also find meaning and joy.
There's some crazy shit that I did.
Yeah.
That I'm really proud of that we did. And, like, it took a village, and the people surrounding me were working really hard in a time when no one knew how to handle it. We were still going.
Yeah, we have so different stories during the pandemic, but in a way very similar too.
Yeah.
And my brother, he gave me a really nice advice. And he said to me, you know, Tom, when there's stuff in life you can't control, usually it's the universe telling you to let go. And when you can let go, you learn from it, and that makes you stronger.
Totally.
Yeah.
And when he said that, it really resonated within me because I knew exactly what he meant. Because of all the stuff I was nagging on that I actually can't control. And when I took myself out of that equation, and I just saw that these are unpredictable things happening and it could happen to anybody, it kind of like the feeling of letting go was easier.
I think I'm still struggling with how to let go of it. How did you let go of it? Have you let go of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, it was strange. It was almost like from all the overthinking, from all the pain that had caused me, I suddenly just like, but there's no reason for it, because if this is just made up in my mind. It's just my ego talking to me. It's just because I don't know what could have happened. Like, I could have played Coachella and it could have gone to shit. You know, so you have all these scenarios that your head can make up, and for some reason I made up to become a victim of the scenario, instead of taking pride in like, oh, I got to this place, now I'm dealing with all of this, and how can I improve? So it was a process, but immediately when I saw that it was my own head that was doing this to me, it was easy to put those feelings into almost like a person that was just giving me shit. And then just like, I don't want to talk to you today.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, to personify it. Yeah, that's such a good idea.
And then the more I did that, the more those feelings came back in. And I just like, you know, today, gone with you. And these feelings I put like different facial experience, and some are dirty, some are old, some are... But I always send them on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, gone with you. And
Send them up,
yeah,
yeah.
because I need, like right now, I don't have time for you. So just like,
Yeah.
Totally.
And the more I did that, and it's a meditation thing, so you have to like visualize it
Yeah.
and really like see those feelings just disappear.
Yeah.
But the more I handled that, and more I did it, the more I let go, and then you come to a point where it's just gone.
Totally. I think I'm just so bad at compartmentalizing things.
Yeah.
Uh,
But you're very intelligent, you know, and with
Thanks.
intelligence, overthinking is a big part of that.
then I am the smartest man alive. Okay.
No, when you came into the car, I could tell.
I just like people, man. I like connecting people. I like learning stories. I think I'm an empath to a fault, and
Yeah.
I definitely take on the weight of others, what they're feeling. But when it comes to my own shit, compartmentalizing has always been so hard, and it
But
overwhelmed me.
we are 33. We're sitting here with a 21-year-old. Like I'm.
I know, not
like,
a wrinkle in sight.
But because we are almost like a generation, like you know, like you. When are you born then?
1st of January 2004.
Yeah, so you're part of the
Holy shit.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's
How's New Year's for you? Oh my God, you get to play a New Year's gig
Eve
every year.
Yeah, New Year's Eve is always a crazy one because it's like kind of my birthday at midnight, and it's always a big send anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a good night.
Have you played New Year's Eve?
Not yet, no.
Oh,
Never.
Ooh, that's gonna be crazy.
Okay, New Year's Eve this year. Come on.
Bye.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Oh my God, let's all go here.
Yeah, let's go. With this
Oslo.
song we're making right now, we're gonna.
Yeah, let's do it.
Boom.
Let's wrap this up. We have a beautiful song we need to.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be good.
The song you're hearing is made for you, together with Sam Fischer and Loek. We had such a beautiful time in the studio making this summer anthem. It's out this Friday. Pre-save it, give it some love if you want to, and the best thing, we're doing it all again next week. Catch you later, and remember to spread that love.